Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm William Edmunson, filling in for the vacationing Kevin Price. Yes, they do let him take the occasional vacation. Glad to be here today. We're going to move on to our next guest this morning. We've got Richard Humley, and he is the president of True Color Graphics. Richard, glad to have you on.
Thanks a lot, William. Glad to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about you and your company, and then I understand you've got an event you want to talk about today.
Yes, I do. Well, I own a company called Campus Document Systems. We have three brands: University Copy Center, that operates at the campus of the University of Houston, the campus of Rice University. We offer printing and postal services there, as well as do custom publishing for professors, so course packs, textbooks,
Great.
Those kinds of things. Our second brand is True Color Graphics. True Color Graphics does digital printing and marketing services. And then we also own a Fast Signs franchise where we offer visual communications.
Boy, you've got the printing end of the world covered, don't you?
Yes, we do. They're all they're all highly related businesses that deal with graphic arts. And at the end of the day, it's about marketing and marketing communications.
Sure. Well, tell us a little bit about how people could reach you and your companies.
Easily, of course, on the web. We have three websites, one for each of those brands: www.universitycopycenter.com, truecolorgraphics.com, and fastsigns.com/2008.
And you guys have been around for at least 20 years, haven't you?
Yes, we have. Actually, the company was started in about 25 years ago. We celebrated our 25th anniversary with University Copy Center this last year. It was started by an executive of Barnes & Noble who sold his own line of bookstores to Barnes & Noble, and then started to look for other opportunities that might be available on the college and university, in the college and university segment, and came across copy centers and opened the first one at University of Houston downtown.
That's great.
And I bought the company in 2003.
Fantastic. Good story there. Well, now you wanted to talk about an event that's coming up that a lot of the listeners are going to be interested in. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks. Besides my day job, I also serve as the chairman of the West Houston Economic Development Summit Committee.
Great.
And this is actually an event that's been going on for over 10 years. It started out as the Star Awards, where we recognized exemplary business in West Houston. And then 3 years ago, we decided to evolve the format to start to focus on economic development issues in West Houston. And the first one 3 years ago, we commissioned Dr. Bill Gilmer at the U of H Institute for Regional Forecasting to do a study on West Houston specifically. It was really the first time that anybody had done anything that focused specifically on West Houston. And then the last 2 years, we've just continued to evolve that. And that actually is the centerpiece of the event, because the results are presented at the luncheon.
Sure. That sounds really great. Well, tell us a little bit about what's happening in West Houston that's keeping the economy thriving in spite of this drop in oil prices.
Well, West Houston is a fairly diversified part of the Houston economy, and even though most of the integrated oil companies are located in West Houston,
sure,
and they're
in
the energy corridor, and of course all of the other. It's not just the integrated oil companies themselves, but engineering companies and other geophysical companies, other companies that supply the industry are located there as well. So there's no question that that is the relatively big dog in the economic picture of West Houston. But it's also a very diversified economy as well. Lots of commercial real estate, lots of health care. As you know, right next to the energy corridor, there are all of the major hospitals and medical centers have located there, and they're expanding
Absolutely.
Right now, and also in other parts of West Houston, like the West Houston Medical Center as well. And then, lots of retail and of course, residential real estate.
Yeah, it's really thriving out that way.
It is. It has been. The last 5 years, Houston has added almost 500,000 jobs, and with each job comes, pick a number, 2, 3, 4, people. Actually, Houston, since I think in the last 15 years, has added 680,000 people in the whole.
It's
whole
amazing,
market.
the growth and the cranes and the buildings.
Think about it. That's an area the size of Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So we have seen such astronomical growth over the last 4 or 5 years, adding 70,000, 90,000, 110,000 jobs a year, that the economy has really had a little bit of a hard time assimilating it. I mean, that's one of the reasons you're not seeing single-family housing prices decrease as of yet. Single-family and multifamily housing is really just now catching up with that. Now, what happens going forward is going to be a little bit.
We'll have to see, right?
We'll have to see how that goes.
Well,
but
we've got about a little over 2 minutes left. I want to hear a little bit more about the summit coming up and who can participate and how do they participate.
Okay. Yes, on February 12th, the West Houston Economic Development Summit will be held at the Omni West Side. It's really an action-packed event that will start with the presentation of actually a new survey that we just completed called the West Houston Economic Pulse. Mm-hmm. And what we've done there is to survey businesses in West Houston about their plans for next year. Right. We wanted to find out if they were going to increase employment. Did their business plans assume that sales would be increasing or decreasing? Mm-hmm. Are they going to expand capital expenditures? So this survey will give us a little bit of insight into the local flavor of exactly what's going to happen as a result of some of the bigger issues that are happening in Houston itself. We'll also have a kind of a trade show, if you will. The major sponsors there will show. Talk to the attendees about their goods and services, and then the major luncheon. And the luncheon will feature the report by Dr. Gilmer that he's just now completing, and then along with that will be an economic sector panel discussion. It'll be moderated by Tom Ziska of Fox 26.
Sure.
And it will include a panel of industry experts for the various segments that are going to be affected by the economic implications of what's happening in the energy industry. So, Mario Arriaga, head of chairman of the Houston Association of Realtors, Shonda Kashan, who's the president of Texas Children's Hospital's West Campus, Pete Delachant, who is Senior Vice President of Automotive One. We'll talk about the retail sector and the implications for what's happening at retail.
Great.
And then Francisco Rivera of Mercantile Bank.
Wonderful. Now, real quickly, as we're coming up to the end of the time, how do people learn more about the event? How do they sign up?
Well, there is a website, of course. It's
perfect.
www.westhousteneds.org. So if you go to that website, you'll find a link that you can click on to sign up. We still have, actually, most of our sponsorships have been sold out. We have a couple left.
That's great
but
news.
There's still lots of tables and individual seats for anybody that wants to find out, what next year is going to be like in West Houston.
Great. Well, thank you, Dick Humley, for coming in today and not only talking about your businesses, including True Color Graphics, but about the West Houston Economic Development Summit. We appreciate it, and thanks for coming on.
My pleasure, William. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Remember, the best content here shows up at usdailyreview.com. We'll be right back with more of The Price of Business.